All right, I decided to shoot a video on how to paint your aluminum rims for your 2020 Dodge Charger SXT is the one we got. Wife just got it for Christmas and she wanted blacked out rims, so started looking at the prices and figured it's either 800 to 1,000 or 80 bucks. So I'm gonna try the 80 buck approach first and paint them myself. What I've done is I've already sanded. I use this 320 220 grit sandpaper block. It's the easiest thing for me to use. It's a sponge. You can get it at Walmart for like $4 or $5. And if you got those hard to reach places, you can use this too, which I didn't need on this because it fit in between. But this is the sanded rims. Now, the first thing I did is I wiped them down, flipped them over, got the oil off the backside. A lot of that buildup and crud in the back and the insides of them. Wiped all that off with the towel, and then I just sandpapered. I sanded it all down. I got all the scuffs the best I could, especially around the rim where there's that road rash around the rim. Got that as much as I could, kind of sanded down so it's not as boogered up as it can be. But just gave it a real good sand. Took the lug nuts, took the center caps off, which I sanded, and I'm going to paint those individually with the lug caps. And taped off the valve stems. Of course, washed it off first with soap and water, dish soap and water, and I let them dry overnight. So it's now the next morning, and I'm coming out here. I just got a paper towel and made sure they're really good and dry, and wiped everything down one more time, and looked everything over to make sure it's good to go. And I'm about to install the first coat of primer. So for the primer, I am using this right here is VHT high temp primer. You get it from AutoZone. 12-13 bucks a can, I believe. I think it's kind of like $12.99 each, so $13 each. I got one can of primer. I'm hoping that's enough to do 4 of these. If not, I'll go back and get another one, but I was hoping to do 1 can of primer, 2 cans of black, and 1 can of clear coat, which I'll upload those videos as well. So I'm just going to put this first coat on real lightly. I'm just going to kind of just give it a dusting on each one, and then wait about 15 minutes, add another dusting, wait about 15 minutes. So it's going to be a process. I'm thinking with all the coats and layers, this is probably about a 2-hour process at least at this point. So you definitely want to set some time in your day to do this correctly. So I'll upload in between coats and maybe take some pictures. Alright, so today I am going to be finishing up the black coats. Yesterday I got 2 coats. I had 2 cans and about 2 coats worth on, and I ran out of paint. Well, the bad thing is they were out of paint, so AutoZone had to get some brought in same day shipping, which was awesome, but it didn't come until dark. So I had to put the wheels up under the patio, and this is actually morning number 3, so it's been spread out due to unforeseen events. But I will show you that I did put a couple coats on. Now, the reason it took 2 cans is because I also painted the whole underside under here that I did not sand. I just wiped off all that grease and crud on the back. I've seen a lot of people use this inside part and just leave it kind of like a shiny finish, but it's got it's got satin black on it as well. The paint I'm using for the black is the same VHT paint that I used on the primer, except this is actually the satin black SP183. Get it from AutoZone, and I'm going to apply a couple more coats. It's just now getting above 50 degrees here, so I think that's the minimum is 50 degrees. I've had these with a heater on it for the last half hour under the patio so that they would warm up. So we're going to go ahead and put a couple coats on and see how it goes. I got the little pieces inside. I'll upload a picture of those. I did those in my kitchen, so hopefully the wife don't kill me. Okay, so this is the final step. I am using, once again, the VHT high temp wheel paint, but this is the gloss clear. There's the part number. Also got it from AutoZone, so it ended up being, at this point, I think it is 2 to 3 coats of primer. I'm at 5 to 6 coats of that satin black, but there is 1 coat which took a whole can just to do the insides, but I didn't primer it, the back sides. But overall, I think it's got 3 cans of black utilized, about 3.5 cans of black, 1 can of primer, and I'm just going to use 1 can of this clear And I just put the first coat of clear on, and you can see it's still kind of wet. But I'm gonna wait about 20 more minutes, put another good coat on there, and wait about another half hour, maybe hour. Sun's out, so it should bake in pretty quickly, and then maybe mount them, see what's up, and I'll take a final video of the finished product. So this is what I'm talking about with doing the inside. This whole inside part of the tire, or the wheel I should say, is also that aluminum look. But all I did was clean it. I didn't sand it. I didn't really do much to it. I just wiped off all the crud off of it with some dish soap and water, and let it dry. And then I started here whenever I got into my blacks. After I primered, whatever blew through from the other side, I just kind of let it hit it, and didn't apply any primer. But before I started painting the front sides, I did this whole inside well, which took up a can. Some people just tape this off, I guess, but I'm just letting you know that that's what I keep referring to by the underside. It took a full can to do all 4 tires, but you can see it's a lot of surface area. But it usually gets all that road junk on it, so it gets covered up anyways and turns naturally black. Okay, so this is the finished results. Got the rims on. Here's a little zoomed out look. Got the look on. Looks so much better, I think. And yeah, I put some of that black tire stuff on. That's why they look wet. I'll come around here in the sunlight a little bit. But they turned out good. I think so. But we'll see how long they last, longevity, and all that good stuff. But I think overall it definitely improved the way the car looked. I don't know. Hope it helps somebody.